Vice-Chancellor, Sheriff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Yvan Besnard was born in October 1944 in Paris and educated in Brittany, where he took an early interest in philosophy and modern languages. He worked as a supervisor for pupils in residence at 2 boarding schools, looking after them during their private study time and non-taught contact time, which gave him food, lodging, and a wage to help pay his way through university, eventually gaining his diploma in literary studies. Yvan pointed out the extraordinary difference between French and British universities. In France, if you achieve the grades you're entitled to attend, so his first year in English had 1,500 students, but only 300 made it to the second year and 120 to the third year. I can sense my colleagues behind me thinking that there may be something in that. Then came military service with the French Ministry of the Armies, followed by national service with the French Foreign Affairs Ministry, specifically the Cooperation in Colonies movement. Mr. Besnard taught in a primary school only 20 miles from Tunis, but in a very different world. After a brief return to France, he came to England to work as a school teacher and language assistant on the Wirral and fell in love, not specifically with the country or the culture or the language, but with his British wife, Terry. In fact, given that Terry has Maltese and Greek parentage and was born in Egypt, I think between them and their 2 children, they have possibly the most compellingly Mediterranean household in Chester, and we've been very fortunate to keep them. That was 1970, and apart from 1 further year in France to complete his degree in English and linguistics, Yvan has been here ever since. He taught French in evening classes, schools and technical colleges, organized many linguistic day workshops and weekend workshops for Cheshire Education Department, and followed a mixed career across teaching, customer services and the civil service until he reached retirement age. What's special, however, is the extracurricular activity which really brings us here today. From 1980 until 2005, he founded and was president of the Cestrian French Society, and in June 1986 was appointed French Honorary Consul for Chester and North Wales. In 1992, he was founding member of the Chester Twinning Committee and its vice chairman for 3 years. At various times, he has undertaken translation duties and acted as a French interpreter for magistrates, courts, the town hall, and other agencies. From 2001, he's been president of the Association of French Honorary Consuls in the United Kingdom. In November 2007, he retired, or I should say attempted to retire, as the Honorary Consul for Chester and North Wales, but was reappointed in February 2011 with a new office situated in the University of Chester. We, of course, were delighted to have a modern languages department with an honorary consul quite literally next door. Monsieur Besnard had also had close contact with the Normandy Veteran Association in Chester and Ellesmere Port for well over 20 years. In 2001, in recognition of this excellent work, he was awarded the Palme Académique, a French distinction equivalent to an MBE. In 2005, he was awarded the National Order of Merit, a French distinction equivalent to an OBE, and in 2013 was promoted to the higher grade of officer in that honour, equivalent to a CBE. Indeed, we're honoured that the French cultural attaché joins us today from London to share in this further recognition. At present, Yvan is still the honorary consul, since despite having to stand down at age 70, he's still pending replacement. We're secretly delighted. Vice-Chancellor, in recognition of outstanding contribution to the City of Chester and County of Cheshire through his work as Honorary Consul for France, in the name of the Council and of the Senate, I present to you for admission to the degree of Master of Arts honoris causa in this university, Monsieur Yvan Besnard, Honorary Consul and Officer of the National Order of Merit of France.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit you to the degree of Master of Arts, honoris causa, in this university. Congratulations. It gives me great pleasure to invite Monsieur Yvan Besnard to address the congregation.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the Senate, Sheriff, Dr. Robert, distinguished guests, Professor Emery, my family, fellow graduates. I'm so grateful to the Vice-Chancellor and the members of the Senate for thinking that I was worthy of this wonderful and unexpected award and accolade. It came as a complete surprise and shock to me, particularly when I see that I will be in the company of other recipients whom I consider so much more worthy of such an award. For instance, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, His Grace the Duke of Westminster, Sir Bernard Lovell, Terry Waite, to name but a few. So I'm deeply, deeply honored, Vice-Chancellor, to have been awarded this university degree. Life is full of surprises, and this is one. When I was studying for my university degree in France, I expected to become an ordinary teacher of English as a foreign language in the French school, but my career took a very different turn when in 1970 I came to this part of the UK to undertake my year abroad as a foreign language assistant. During my stay, as you heard, I met someone very special. I married her, stayed here ever since, and became a teacher of French as a foreign language instead. All my adult life, I wanted to help not only my French compatriots, but also the people in my community. So I got involved in a few voluntary extracurricular activities, so to speak. The bulk of my work was teaching French, of course, but I quickly felt that there was a desire from a substantial number of local people to learn more about French culture and language. So in 1980, when I came to Chester, I founded the Chester French Society, Cercle Français Sestrien, which I managed for 25 years. and which benefited a great many people in Chester and the surrounding areas. As a direct result of this, in 1986, I was appointed Honorary Consul of France for the northwest of England and the whole of North Wales. That work involves helping the French community, either settled here or in transit, but it also involves helping anyone in the locality with their queries with the French authorities. And I'm proud to say that out of the various voluntary activities I carried out here, this is the one that has the greatest impact locally. Very soon, I realized that, unlike most French cities, Chester was not twinned with any other city. So I worked very hard to encourage a change of heart from a reluctant city council. And in 1990, I became one of the founding members of the Twinning Committee, better known here as Chester International Links Association. Chester is now twinned with 3 other European cities: France, of course, Sens, south of Paris, Senegalia in Italy, and Lörrach in Germany. Chester now has many, many strong links with other cities all over the world. If someone had told me when I was a student that 50 years later I would be standing here addressing the latest crop of top students at Chester University receiving their degrees, I would not have believed that person. And yet, here I am in this magnificent cathedral, part of a ceremony that is so special, particularly special to me because in France, unfortunately, ceremonies for the conferment of degrees have disappeared many, many decades ago. In fact, we receive our degrees through the post. How sad is that, eh? You have just graduated. Most of you are about to start or probably might have just started work. Make good use of your new qualification. And if you can, think outside the box, so to speak. Or to put it in a way reminiscent of what President John F. Kennedy once said, it is not what your community can do for you, but what you can do for your community. You know, volunteering work is extremely fulfilling and rewarding. So, my fellow graduates, enjoy this unique and very special day with your family and loved ones. You've worked hard to get here and thoroughly deserve this very, very special day. Thank you.